Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood, the methodical process of logical reasoning. I can't follow your line of reasoning. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. His face has many lines. Mechanical system in a factory whereby an article is conveyed through sites at which successive operations are performed on it. A connected series of events or actions or developments. Historians can only point out those lines for which evidence is available. The road consisting of railroad track and roadbed. A conceptual separation or distinction. There is a narrow line between sanity and insanity. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. A conductor for transmitting electrical or optical signals or electric power. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. He's not in my line of business. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Draw a line. Often plural, a means of communication or access. Lines of communication were set up between the two firms. The descendants of one individual. His entire lineage has been warriors. Space for one line of print, 1 column wide and 1/14 inch deep, used to measure advertising. A short personal letter. Drop me a line when you get there. A telephone connection. Be in line with, form a line along. Trees line the riverbank. The maximum credit that a customer is allowed. A particular kind of product or merchandise. A nice line of shoes. A pipe used to transport liquids or gases. A pipeline runs from the wells to the seaport. A commercial organization serving as a common carrier. Acting in conformity. In line with. A formation of people or things one behind another. The line stretched clear around the corner. A formation of people or things one beside another. The line of soldiers advanced with their bayonets fixed. A fortified position, especially one marking the most forward position of troops. They attacked the enemy's line. A length, straight or curved, without breadth or thickness, the trace of a moving point. A mark that is long relative to its width. He drew a line on the chart. A single frequency, or very narrow band, of radiation in a spectrum. A spatial location defined by a real or imaginary unidimensional extent. Cover the interior of. Line the gloves. Fill plentifully. Line one's pockets. In games or sports, a mark indicating positions or bounds of the playing area. Mark with lines. Sorrow had lined his face. Persuasive but insincere talk that is usually intended to deceive or impress. Let me show you my etchings as a rather worn line. Reinforce with fabric. Lined books are more enduring. Something, as a cord or rope, that is long and thin and flexible. A washing line. Text consisting of a row of words written across a page or computer screen. The letter consisted of 3 short lines. A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood, the methodical process of logical reasoning. A fact or assertion offered as evidence that something is true. It was a strong argument that his hypothesis was true. A discussion in which reasons are advanced for and against some proposition or proposal. The argument over foreign aid goes on and on. A summary of the subject or plot of a literary work or play or movie. The editor added the argument to the poem. A contentious speech act. A dispute where there is strong disagreement. They were involved in a violent argument. Computer science. A reference or value that is passed to a function, procedure, subroutine, command, or program. A variable in a logical or mathematical expression whose value determines the dependent variable. If f, x, equals y, x is the independent variable. A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood. The methodical process of logical reasoning. A discussion in which reasons are advanced for and against some proposition or proposal. A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood. The methodical process of logical reasoning. I can't follow your line of reasoning. A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood. The methodical process of logical reasoning. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. An angular or rounded shape made by folding. A crease in his trousers. Become wrinkled or crumpled or creased. Make wrinkled or creased. Scrape gently. A Malayan dagger with a wavy blade. Make wrinkles or creases on a smooth surface. Make a pressed, folded or wrinkled line in. Crisp is archaic. Crease the paper like this to make a crane. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. Become wrinkled or crumpled or creased. Make wrinkles or creases on a smooth surface. Make a pressed, folded or wrinkled line in. Crisp is archaic. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. Make wrinkled or creased. Furrow one's brow. Hollow out in the form of a furrow or groove. Furrow soil. Cut a furrow into a columns. A long shallow trench in the ground, especially one made by a plow. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. A stratum of ore or coal thick enough to be mined with profit. Joint consisting of a line formed by joining two pieces. Put together with a seam. Seam a dress. Gather or contract into wrinkles or folds, pucker. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. Ironing gets rid of most wrinkles. Become wrinkled or crumpled or creased. This fabric won't wrinkle. Make wrinkled or creased. Make wrinkles or creases on a smooth surface. Make a pressed, folded or wrinkled line in. Crisp is archaic. The dress got wrinkled. A clever method of doing something, especially something new and different. A minor difficulty. They finally have the wrinkles pretty well ironed out. Mechanical system in a factory whereby an article is conveyed through sites at which successive operations are performed on it. Mechanical system in a factory whereby an article is conveyed through sites at which successive operations are performed on it. General line of orientation. The river takes a southern course. Construction. A layer of masonry. A course of bricks. A connected series of events or actions or developments. The government took a firm course. As might be expected. A mode of action. If you persist in that course, you will surely fail. A body of students who are taught together. Education imparted in a series of lessons or meetings. He took a course in basket weaving. Move along, of liquids. A line or route along which something travels or moves. The course of the river. Facility consisting of a circumscribed area of land or water laid out for a sport. The course had only 9 holes. Hunt with hounds. He often courses hares. Move swiftly through or over. Part of a meal served at one time. She prepared a 3-course meal. The road consisting of railroad track and roadbed. Line, that is the commercial organization responsible for operating a system of transportation for trains that pull passengers or freight. The road consisting of railroad track and roadbed. The opposition or dissimilarity of things that are compared. In contrast to. A conceptual separation or distinction. To show differences when compared, be different. The students contrast considerably in their artistic abilities. Put in opposition to show or emphasize differences. The middle school teacher contrasted her best student's work with that of her weakest student. The act of distinguishing by comparing differences. The perceptual effect of the juxtaposition of very different colors. The range of optical density and tone on a photographic negative or print, or the extent to which adjacent areas on a television screen differ in brightness. A conceptual separation or distinction. The boundary of a specific area. A conceptual separation or distinction. Exposed to fresh air. The mass of air surrounding the Earth. It was exposed to the air. Travel via aircraft. Air travel involves too much waiting in airports. Exposed to cool or cold air so as to cool or freshen. Air the old winter clothes. A slight wind, usually refreshing. As he waited, he could feel the air on his neck. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. She was humming an air from Beethoven. A distinctive but intangible quality surrounding a person or thing. An air of mystery. Broadcast over the airwaves, as in radio or television. We cannot air this X-rated song. Make public. She aired her opinions on welfare. Medium for radio and television broadcasting. The program was on the air from 9 till midnight. A mixture of gases, especially oxygen, required for breathing, the stuff that the wind consists of. Air pollution. Be broadcast. This show will air Saturdays at 2 p.m. Exposed to warm or heated air, so as to dry. Once thought to be one of 4 elements composing the universe, Empedocles. The region above the ground. Her hand stopped in mid-air. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. The perception of pleasant arrangements of musical notes. An intense or violent exertion. Difficulty that causes worry or emotional tension. She endured the stresses and strains of life. Cause to be tense and uneasy or nervous or anxious. Test the limits of. Become stretched or tense or taut. The rope strained when the weight was attached. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. The act of singing. Remove by passing through a filter. Separate by passing through a sieve or other straining device to separate out coarser elements. Use to the utmost. Exert vigorously or to full capacity. Don't strain your mind too much. Biology. A group of organisms within a species that differ in trivial ways from similar groups. A new strain of microorganisms. A special variety of domesticated animals within a species. He created a new strain of sheep. The general meaning or substance of an utterance. To exert much effort or energy. Straining our ears to hear. An effortful attempt to attain a goal. Rub through a strainer or process in an electric blender. Alter the shape of something by stress. Psychology. Nervousness resulting from mental stress. His responsibilities were a constant strain. Injury to a muscle, often caused by overuse, results in swelling and pain. Physics. Deformation of a physical body under the action of applied forces. Adjust the pitches of musical instruments. My piano needs to be tuned. Adjust for better functioning. Tune the engine. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. The adjustment of a radio receiver or other circuit to a required frequency. The property of producing accurately a note of a given pitch. He cannot sing in tune. Television that is transmitted over cable directly to the receiver. A conductor for transmitting electrical or optical signals or electric power. A nautical unit of depth. A television system that transmits over cables. Send cables, wires, or telegrams. A telegram sent abroad. A very strong thick rope made of twisted hemp or steel wire. Fasten with a cable. Cable trees. A conductor for transmitting electrical or optical signals or electric power. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. He bought his brother's business. Incidental activity performed by an actor for dramatic effect. His business with the cane was hilarious. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. He's not in my line of business. Business concerns collectively. Government and business could not agree. Customers collectively. The activity of providing goods and services involving financial and commercial and industrial aspects. Computers are now widely used in business. An immediate objective. Gossip was the main business of the evening. A rightful concern or responsibility. It's none of your business. The volume of commercial activity. Business is good today. A specific piece of work required to be done as a duty or for a specific fee. Estimates of the city's loss on that job ranged as high as $1 million. A crime, especially a robbery. The gang pulled off a bank job in St. Louis. Invest at a risk. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. Arranged for contracted work to be done by others. A state of difficulty that needs to be resolved. It is always a job to contact him. A book in the Old Testament containing Job's pleas to God about his afflictions and God's reply. A damaging piece of work. Dry rot did the job of destroying the barn. A Jewish hero in the Old Testament who maintained his faith in God in spite of afflictions that tested him. An object worked on, a result produced by working. He held the job in his left hand and worked on it with his right. Any long-suffering person who withstands affliction without despairing. A workplace, as in the expression, on the job. Computer science, a program application that may consist of several steps but is a single logical unit. Profit privately from public office and official business. The performance of a piece of work. She did an outstanding job as Ophelia. The responsibility to do something. It is their job to print the truth. Work occasionally. As a student, I jobbed during the semester breaks. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. The act of occupying or taking possession of a building. Occupation of a building without a certificate of occupancy is illegal. The control of a country by military forces of a foreign power. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. Any activity that occupies a person's attention. He missed the bell in his occupation with the computer game. The period of time during which a place or position or nation is occupied. During the German occupation of Paris. Show the form or outline of. Determine the essential quality of. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Represented accurately or precisely. Trace the shape of. Describe in vivid detail.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.